Kentucky, where I was raised, where the wildlife and mountains call my name. I was born to hunt, I was born to guide, a camouflage on a rifle by my side. Just good old country boys chasing dreams in the Appalachian Mountains, fields and streams. From those white-tailed bucks strutting toms, the bugling elks that are on the run. Where those dreams are made, the trophies is our game. The TLC Outfitters is our name. The coyotes run all night. It's music to my ears and in my sights. I've got this hunting fever down in my bones. Glad my daddy taught me everything I know. From those white-tailed bucks strutting toms, the bugling elks that are on the run. Where dreams are made, the trophies is our game. The TLC Outfitters is our name. From those white-tailed bucks strutting toms, the bugling elks that are on the run. Where dreams are made, the trophies is our game. The TLC Outfitters is our name. The TLC Outfitter is our name.
Hey everybody, welcome to TLC Outfitters Live. Thank you so much for making us part of your Wednesday night. My name is Trinity Shepherd. We appreciate you all. Hope everybody's having a great week. We are joined tonight by a very special guest, good buddy of mine, our very own Tim Fannin from TLC Outfitters and also Fannin's Photography. I appreciate you taking time, man. I know you're busy as all get out.
Yeah,
Building a house, working, burning at both ends. We appreciate you.
I'm glad to be here, man. I love watching the show, and I actually just like talking turkey, and I like talking hunting and anything outdoors.
Well, we appreciate your knowledge in the comments tonight, but we got you here firsthand, so hope everybody enjoys. And we, all I had to do was mention turkey, and son, he in
I
like
lined
that.
up like a can.
So we appreciate him very much. As always, TLC Outfitters Live and all things TLC Outfitters brought to you by Vortex Optics. Join the Vortex Nation today. Check out Vortex Optics with their VIP no questions asked warranty, by far the best warranty in the business. Whether you're in shopping for a spotting scope, whether you're shopping for binoculars, range finders, whatever it is, or a rifle scope. I'm telling you right now, I know the man behind the scenes has got a new rifle scope coming in. I'll purchase the brand new Vortex Fury range finding binoculars with a 5,000 yard range. And I'm telling you right now, we tried it. When you shoot that thing out there, when you push that button, you know, you would think over 1,000 yards would take forever. It's like that.
Wow.
And very affordable. Get on Vortex Optics. Check out all things that they have. We appreciate them very much. Join the Vortex Nation today. Check out their clothing, their podcast, everything they got going. We appreciate them very much. We got a bunch of shout outs. As always, behind the scenes, Mr. Thomas Rainey and Chris Mead. Thomas Rainey from Bobcat Sports and Chris Mead from Mr. Tire. Thomas is not with us tonight, but he's always with us because he's just a phone call away. Anytime we need technical support, he's right there. We appreciate him very much. Chris Meade from Mr. Tire. I'm telling you, you need to come down and check out all things Mr. Tire here in Prestonsburg. Whether you need an oil change, you need a brand new set of tires, whether you need service on your vehicle, multi-point inspection, they're going to get you on the road and keep you on the road at Mr. Tire of Prestonsburg. Check them out. They are the official service center of TLC Outfitters. Our good friend Keith Moore from Savage Farms. Check out their maple syrup and their wine. Hunter Maines with Burley Custom Calls, man. I cannot wait to take these Burley Custom Calls. Hand-turned, hand-tuned locator calls, pot calls, and diaphragms, man. Hopefully we'll have some footage for you from Hunter Maines, Burley Custom Calls. Check them out on Instagram. Also, one of my best friends, Nathan and Chessie Arnett from Nathan and Chessie Arnett Music, and also Turning Ground. Robert Myers of State Park Naturals, been out there burning the candle on both ends, trying to get all this ice storm damage and flood damage with the state parks. Hope everybody gets out and check out your state parks as we start to hopefully get things back to normal. Also, huge shout out one more time, a very happy birthday to our very own Thomas Rainey. He had a birthday this week, and buddy, hope you had a great day and all great days to come. We appreciate each and every one of y'all for tuning in. If you've not done so, please like and share this post. Get the word out there about all things TLC Outfitters. And tonight we're coming to you from the Mountain Arts Center right here in our hometown of Prestonsburg, Kentucky. Huge thank you. You got to see him last week, to Joe Campbell, Mayor Les Stapleton, and the city of Prestonsburg for rolling out the red carpet and letting us in here, man. We appreciate Joe Campbell and all of his staff for everything that they do for TLC Outfitters. Thank you very much. You can check out all things coming up that they have, all their events, their shows, their musical talent on their website at Mountain Arts Center. A little bit of news, but before we do so, like I said, we appreciate everybody being on here. As always, our number one fan, my mama, Miss Shirley. Hope you're having a good day. Misty, thank you for tuning in. Our very own Corey Black says, howdy. Man, I'm tongue-tied tonight. I don't know what's going on. Listen, we're a little bit late tonight. And as always, and I've got a witness right here, as always, we're going to blame it on Chris Meade, but that's okay. He's here helping us out, but it is his fault.
Yeah,
a little technical difficulty out in town, something to do with garage doors, things like I don't know. Anyway, it's his fault. About killed Nathan. Miss Kathy Myers, hope you are doing very well. Derek, our very own Paris, Canada, very own Corey Terry. Jason Harlow, buddy, got your message. I'll be getting back with you here real soon. Very own Matt Woolwine, appreciate you, buddy. You don't know a Mrs. Fannin, do you?
I do. I think I know who that woman is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised she claims you. I mean, I know it's a compliment, for you to claim
Well,
her.
I mean, I went up in the, I went up in the world. A little bit.
I heard
I'm still
that.
down low, but she's.
Thank you for tuning in and support. Jason Kilgore Bay, hope you're doing good. Nathan, let's see who we got. Who else we got here? We've got Jason Fannin.
I know that kid.
I thought you did. Dylan Dalton Bay, thank you. Miss Amber. You don't know about a guy by the name of Dwayne Tackett, do you?
I do. I know Dwayne.
Now, somebody told me he was a duck hunting fool, son.
He is. I think Dwayne loves to duck hunt.
I think we need to get Dwayne on here to talk about
Yeah,
duck hunting. We're
I
going to
think
put
we
him
do.
on the spot. He's
Yeah,
a
you
good
need to get
buddy.
him and Devin running on here or something. Get some of them boys who like to shoot them ducks' heads off.
Waterfowl is not something that a lot of folks think of in eastern Kentucky. Dwayne is our buddy, a good buddy of ours. He's probably, as far as duck hunting, is the biggest duck hunter I know in our area. But I tell you what, man, you can have a lot of success in eastern Kentucky. It takes a whole lot more work. If you go to one of the flyways, especially down in the western part of the state or going over to Arkansas, where it'll kind of spoil you a little bit.
Yeah.
But there's some good waterfowl hunting here.
Those guys got some secrets. You just have to catch up with.
That's
They don't
exactly
know.
right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. My family, Kayla and Trent Hicks, hope you're doing good. Corey says, hey, brother. I got a story to tell you about Corey here in just a moment. We got us a trip planned. John Ramey, mate, thank you for tuning in. John Pruitt, buddy, cannot wait to get out in the woods with you this spring. Miss Aaron, thank you for tuning in. Get that homework done. Our good buddy Gary Mullins. Man, we got a lot of people in. Paul Richardson, Loretta Wolford, thank you. Rodney Bay, thank you for tuning in. Brianna Fannin says hey. So thank you to each and every person. If I missed your name, it's because I didn't see you on here or something, but thank you. You all are the ones that allow us to do what it is we do. We love to do. Just a little bit of news before we get into our show. Of course, we are chomping at the bit to get into turkey season. It is less than a month away, man.
Oh, yeah, buddy.
And
counting down the days.
I'm telling you, it's no different than a holiday for us. Christmas, Thanksgiving, or for some of us, it's probably we count down more for this than we do anything. But Strutting Jake's Youth Tournament, presented by TLC Outfitters and Bugling with the Brothers podcast, April 2nd through the 4th. Listen, folks, it's free. There's no reason. If you are going to take your child turkey hunting, or if you are going to take a child turkey hunting that's not yours, you know, if you got some friends or whatever, get them out Friday evening from 4 to 7 at Copperhead Gun and Indoor Range. Got to say a huge thank you to Aaron Scott and all of his staff at Copperhead Gun and Indoor Range. Brian Nelson, thank you all very much for opening up the doors for us. Need to get your youth out there. Sign them up. It's free. It's not going to cost you anything. It's free. Sign them up. It's a youth turkey tournament. Hopefully every kid will get a turkey, but even if they don't, it's going to be a great weekend. First weigh-in will be on Saturday at 2 p.m. at Copperhead Gun and Indoor Range. We're also going to have a youth calling contest, so all your youths get those pot calls, those mouth calls, everything. We're going to have different categories. All right, and I just got the info that we're going to be giving away a shotgun. So somebody's going to walk. One of the youth, right?
I have to be there Sunday to get it.
One of the youth is going to be walking away with the shotgun. Tons of door prizes, but you got to be present on Sunday to win. So you need to be there, okay?
Sweet.
And Sunday, the final weigh-in will be 3 p.m., man. I'm telling you right now, if you don't come out to the youth turkey tournament, we're going to have some measuring things there. You know, we'll measure the spurs, the beard, and weigh the bird, give the kids a final score. But it's not about – that's just the friendly competition part about it. We'll probably be giving away 3 or 5 places with trophies and things like that. But it's the camaraderie, and it's passing on the tradition. That's what we want people to know. And we hope to, fingers crossed, we hope to be able to send every child away there with something, either a door prize or whatever. If you are interested in being a sponsor for that event, you can message us or give us a call, 606-496-6966. We'd love for you to be part of it. Or if you want to help out, if you want to come out, maybe there's a child that doesn't have a place to hunt, the child and its guardian, or needs some help, we hope to have some people there that we can hook you up with to be able to get your child out in the woods. So there's no reason. If you got any questions, message us here on the Facebook page. Please, I'm begging you to bring your kids out and enjoy a great time at the Strutting Jake's Youth Turkey Tournament, April 2nd through the 4th. I know that's Easter weekend. There's going to be plenty of time to do your Easter plans with your family as well, but also some room for turkey season. And we want to give credit first. That's to the Lord above, but we can get some turkey hunting in there as well. Turkey season, our regular state turkey season will be April the 17th. You know, we talked a little bit about this on the podcast for this week, but a lot of folks don't realize, I think, how the turkey season is set. The way that the Kentucky Department of Fish and Wildlife has this set up, and you can check this out. And I have to tell you, man, big kudos to the department for the new upgrade of their website. I don't know if you had a chance to go on there, but they're upgrading their website, making it even more user-friendly. I have to tell you, out of all the states that I've been to, Kentucky has the most user-friendly website for hunting and fishing that you can actually get on. But kudos to the Kentucky Department of Fish and Wildlife. But The way they set the turkey season is that unless something changes with the commission, the first Saturday or the first weekend in April is always the youth season, and then the Saturday closest to the 15th is always the regular season. So that's how that is set, April the 17th. Also, we've got a lot of reports of white bass starting to run. Everybody says, and you back me up on this if this is true, but most people will do it kind of by the red buds. You know, they say the major run is when the red buds are, you know, busted out and at the ripest. But we're actually starting to see some white bass being caught, making early runs. So, and man, if you've not checked out the Tug Fork River, friends of the Tug Fork, our good buddy Pete Runyon, they are burning the smallmouth up.
I looked on there last night. These a lot of smallmouth being
Big
caught.
smallmouth. I'm talking about pushing 5 pound smallmouth out of the Tug River, the Tug Fork of the Big Sandy River. There's 2 rivers, Leviza Fork and the Tug Fork. The Tug Fork, man, and check out the Leviza as well. Also, our good buddy Grondel Potter from Russell Fork, he's actually starting to catch a lot of smallmouth too. So now's the time, man. Now's the time. There's one thing about it. If you sit at home, you can't catch them.
Yeah.
So get out there, wet a line, take a kid fishing, be safe. Get out there and chase after some of those smallmouth and those white bass runs. If you're just tuning in, we appreciate you very much. Please like and share this. Get the word out about all things Eastern Kentucky and TLC Outfitters, the leading choice. Also, I got one more announcement before we go to commercial break. We've been working on this, and I want to announce this tonight. But, you know, man, we talk all the time about our most precious resource is our youth. You know, what we do with them, what we pass on to them is what they are going to embellish as they grow up, what they're going to support. And I don't think there's any better way of doing that in our area than sending some kids to Camp Webb, the conservation camp.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And we are launching the next generation scholarship for Camp Webb. And there are going to be more to come, but 4 youth are going to be selected. Now, this isn't going to be random. We've got a panel of people. Miss Erin Bingham and I have been working on this, and we're going to get the info out here before long. But it is going to be focused on conservation. Kids have to submit to us videos. They have to pick a resource. You know, could be eastern bluebird, could be deer, could be turkey, could be fish, could be trees, could be whatever. They pick a resource that they want to, you know, make a plan for conservation for. They have to tell us a little bit about the resource and also about why this resource needs to be conserved, and then they actually have to implement the plan. So the resource, the ins and outs, and implementation. For instance, you know, a child could pick eastern bluebirds, tell us a little bit about eastern bluebirds, show, you know, say that, you know, how the bluebird boxes has helped this species over the years, and actually build or paint or put up a bluebird box. That way, we have hopefully give these kids a little insight, or maybe turn on a switch for them and say, you know what, I want to be part of something bigger than just hunting and fishing.
And then they'll really enjoy Camp Webb. I mean, my boy, he enjoyed it, and I think everybody that I ever talked to enjoyed going to Camp Webb.
You can get your hunter's education card while you're there. You know, you learn about boating, you learn about archery, you learn about life skills of all sorts. It is a great camp.
Yeah.
And, you know, Fish and Wildlife has got, I believe, 3 across the state. But for this first year, we're going to be focusing on Eastern Kentucky and sending 4 kids to Camp Webb. It's called the Next Generation Scholarship for Camp Webb. We will be getting all that information out in the upcoming week, and we are excited, very excited about this. So, folks, we're going to take a commercial break. We're going to come back here and talk to our good friend Tim Fannin, our very own from TLC Outfitters and Fannin Photography. If you've not done so, please like and share this post. Get the word out there about what's going on in Eastern Kentucky and all things TLC Outfitters. We'll be back here in just a few minutes to talk turkey with Mr. Tim Fannin.
Aaron, what are you doing back here?
Drop out.
What do you mean you're dry firing? We got a brand new range back there.
I can't put it on, man.
Oh, yes, you can. The new Stimmy just came in. You really gonna shoot it all without me?
Well, come on.
I think I got a better idea.
Hey folks, welcome back here to TLC Outfitters Live. Thank you so much for making us part of your Wednesday night. We are sitting here with our special guest this week, Mr. Tim Fannin of TLC Outfitters and Fannin Photography. Tim, man, thank you. I'll tell you, you one of the busiest fellas I've ever seen.
Son, I've got a lot of irons in the fire.
You do, but once those irons pan out, man, it's going to be well worth it.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait to get some of them knocked out. You know, as far as me, I've got so many things that I do all the time. First and foremost, I'm a child of God. You know, I do a lot of the godly things. I
Yep.
try to be the best as I can be with that. You know, I'm not perfect.
None of us
But,
are, brother.
You know, I'm a plumber. I'm a photographer. I'm a videographer. I constantly am doing things. I'm real busy.
Yeah, man, real busy.
Yeah.
And here you are tonight. We appreciate
Yeah.
you very much, and appreciate all your insight, man. That's the reason I wanted you on the show. You're going to be on the podcast this week and on the show because we're talking turkey, and I know that you've had a lot of time in the woods with turkey.
Oh, yeah.
And hopefully we can say something tonight that maybe help a hunter or spark interest in some of the things we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about the Slam, the Grand Slam,
Oh, yeah.
and man, I've got it on my mind.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that here in just a few moments. But before we do that, man, tell us a little bit about yourself, about your ties to Eastern Kentucky.
Well, basically, I've lived around here all my life. I started out hunting probably when I was about 13 years old. My uncles basically got me into hunting. I was a child of a single parent, and my uncles always stepped in and took me outdoors, and it seems like it was just a passion of mine. I always started out rabbit hunting, and I always got, I got the bigger things like squirrel, and then all of a sudden Mom could afford me a gun. So once Mom got me a gun, then I started getting into the bigger stuff. I got into deer hunting, and it just went from there. And it was something that you just get obsessed with. And me, I have. I'm still that way. So,
For a lot of people, in our area especially, being brought up in Eastern Kentucky, and if you can't tell, I'm real partial to Eastern Kentucky. And I'm not taking away any other part of our state. That's a great thing about the Commonwealth. You can go to any of the 120 counties. You can go to any of the towns, cities across our state. You can go anywhere and get a unique experience, and it is amazing. Our great Commonwealth is amazing, but we're partial to these old mountains over here. But, hunting, for the majority, I think, and this is just an opinion, seems to become a way of life.
Yeah.
It's more than a hobby.
it turns into that.
It turns into that. And, my greatest, I have to be honest with you, not just because of the business side of it, but there's not a day goes by that I don't talk about it. My mind's not in the woods or on the water. Nature isn't connected with me somehow, some way. And the people that I've met, in that. So
Yeah.
it's more than a hobby; it's a way of life.
It is, and as the way I grew up in it, I obsessed over it, and it followed me all through my adult life. It still has. I get to work, and if I look out and I walk outside, the morning time, and I look out and it looks like a pretty day, I don't even really want to go work. I want to get in the woods, And for me, that's the reason why I do so many things. I have so many hobbies outdoor-wise. I'm a hiker. I do photography. I do videography, and most of my pictures are wildlife stuff. I do a lot of wildlife photography, and it keeps me throughout the year, regardless of whether there's a hunting season in or not. I'm shooting stuff with that camera.
That's right, man. Yes, sir. Yeah. I do. Now, how? And you may answer this a little bit already, but how did you get started into hunting? Why did you one day say, I want to be a hunter?
Well, I was watching, I would always watch my uncles go, and I kind of, in those days, in the early 80s, and there wasn't a lot for kids to do. We went outside mostly and played. We didn't have video games.
Nope.
And
no phones, no iPads,
yeah, nothing.
No Fortnite.
Yeah, and just the feel of nature and the want to learn about nature got me out there. And seeing people come home with their game, with the rabbits and stuff, and I liked rabbit meat. I mean, that's another thing too.
Yeah,
when you get that taste,
that table fire is amazing.
Yeah, it is, and that will keep you going in the field longer. And actually, you'll do it the right way if you the taste of it catches you. But now, as far as me, man, it's just been a passion, and it became a passion at an early age. And that's the reason why this youth thing to me is just awesome. You get kids out there, get them started. And I always tell my son, I say, when you get back out in the woods, there's a smell that's going to catch you one day that's going to make you remember that day when you was 6 years old in the woods. Right. It's going to make you remember that.
Yeah. There's something about it, man. The thing that is so magical to me is that you can take folks from all across this nation. You can take people from other countries, and the common denominator being the outdoors, hunting, fishing, the things that we love. And you can sit down at a table, and it's just like you've known each other all of your life. That's how powerful this thing is that we love and that we talk about, week in and week out, and for us every day. Yeah. And I think sometimes people look at us and is like, what do you get from all that?
Why are you killing stuff? It ain't about the kill.
That's right.
It's, there's more to it than that.
That's right.
There's a really spiritual nature to it if you really get into it.
And I have to tell you, man, one of my favorite things is if you want to know the Creator, look at the creation.
Exactly.
If you look at our songbirds or what we're getting ready to talk about, a turkey, there is nothing more vibrant, there's nothing more beautiful than a strutting gobbler.
Yeah.
With the colors that he's got and everything, the iridescence of the feathers, the way they handles himself. I tell you, man, God was some artist.
Yeah, you think about yourself. We're just like the animals. We've got certain parts of our nature that if we could connect to, we'd probably live a lot better lives.
That's right.
If we could just get back to that. But now, that's the world has taken us away from that. And when we see turkey doing what they do, when we see deer doing what they do, you kind of think, well, God has put that together in a piece that's fit perfectly into their lifestyle.
Yeah.
And we had that lifestyle before all this came along.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right, man. Let's talk about these turkeys. Now, I have to tell you, I've got turkey fever. Since 1999, I killed my first turkey in 1999. And I've had the bug ever since. One of my good friends from college, Lawrence Hackworth, he took me hunting, and I didn't know anything about it. I had an old single shot breakdown. I don't even remember what kind of gun it was. It was my dad's gun. He had actually painted the bird, And we went out, and Lawrence took me out. And make a long story short, I killed my first turkey, which was a jack. I was hooked, But there's something about the springtime woods, and there's something about turkey hunting that is different than all the fall hunts.
Yeah.
You know, all the fishing, all that. It is unique in its own own special way. But the Grand Slam, man, you know, I think sometimes people, you know, take for granted the opportunity that they may have. When we think across the board about big game species, you know, there's the slam of killing the 4 North American rams. You know, there's the slam of killing, you know, the 4 North American elk species, subspecies. Those things are pretty tough. You know, or killing the 2 or 3 different species of moose, whatever. But this Grand Slam, these 4 U.S. species.
Yeah. Turkey keeps a lot of people on the road.
That's right. And it's more achievable than you think.
Yeah, it is.
So the 4 species we're talking about is Eastern, of course, that's what we have.
Yeah.
Osceola down in Florida. Rio, which is a southwest, south central.
Kind of central
Yeah.
United States. Yeah.
Draw a line across the middle, you know, horizontally, side to side, and basically south.
Yeah.
And then north of that line are Merriams.
Merriams, yeah.
Yeah. And that's the 4. And then you've got 2 other species. You got the Gould's and the Ocellated. Now, the Gould's turkey looks like our other 4
Yeah.
species. But now that Ocellated, I always tell everybody,
Yeah, they're
he looks like a peacock crossed with a turkey.
Yeah, he's a weird looking critter.
Yeah. And got a sound that is, I've never heard it. It's almost alien like.
Yeah, it is. It's. I probably wouldn't even know what was coming at me if
Yeah.
I hunted one of those. Yeah.
That's right. But we're going to focus on the 4. So the 4 is called the Grand Slam. If you put the Gould's in there, that's a Royal Slam.
The Gould's is a Royal Slam, and then the World Slam would be the Oscillator.
Oscillated.
Yeah.
So there you go. Of course, you have got the Eastern, the Rio, and the Merriams. Now, we've got a picture of the 3 here. Audio may cut out here for just a bit, but I want to show these, and then we'll come back and talk about them. Okay. But we want to talk about these species. And Dwayne Tank said it's the second prettiest thing. I bet he's going to be. I bet he's going to say either a wood duck or a pintail's the prettiest,
Yeah.
or a canvasback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he likes them ducks. The ducks are pretty though. I have
They
to
are.
give him that. Ducks are very pretty.
They are, man.
They are. And, you know, turkey is the prettiest ugly thing I ever seen. I don't know what it is about turkey, but when they're fluffed out and they're doing what they do, and they're the most beautiful creature, but when they let down and their old ugly heads is reared out, it's just,
Oh,
I
ugly
don't know.
football.
Yeah, it's kind of weird looking.
Yeah.
You know, my wife used to think they was ugly as all get out, but when she first started hunting them, you know, she's now to the point where I think she thinks they're pretty like I
Pretty
do.
good.
Yeah.
Where we at there, sir?
Here's one, I don't know what one this is.
What's it got in the background?
2 turkeys standing.
Yeah, that's the Rio.
Go back to you.
So the first one you seen there was the Rio. So before we go to the, you only showed the one, right?
Yeah.
All right, don't show any more. Let's talk about the Rio. What most people know about the Eastern, but I want to spend our majority of our time talking about these others. So Rio. So geologically, if you look, or geographically, if you look at the United States, we're talking about west
Yeah,
of
you're
that.
talking- in Kansas is full of Rios. Like Kansas and Nebraska meet together.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Rios in that area. There's
Yeah.
a lot of Rios, and they actually go up into the central part of.
But you got to go west of Missouri. I think Missouri is all Easterns.
Right.
Iowa. But once you get past that line, you get over more into Merriam, and which is north of Rio. But Rio is going to be south of there. So, you know, as you go from Kansas down towards Oklahoma, Texas, down that
Yeah.
way, going to be
The farther
Rios.
you get west, the more the population gets of Rios.
Yeah. So let's talk about your Rio. Now, we've seen a picture of it. Describe that hunt for us a little bit.
That hunt was actually kind of a quick hunt. Me and my buddy Devin had been hunting pretty much all day, and seemed like things wasn't really working out too good for us. And we picked a new location to go, and that area I guess was loaded with the Rios. To be honest with you, there's quite a bit in that area, so we hadn't been there long, and Devin put off a few calls. I was letting him mostly do the calling for me because I'm not the best caller ever was, and I don't consider myself a great caller. But we caught a few times, man, they gobbled off in the distance, and those turkeys gobble. They like to gobble.
Very vocal.
Yeah, they're very vocal turkeys, and they come in, buddy, and I just put her down. I mean, it was a good
Good hunt.
time. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a really good time.
Now, size-wise, when we're talking about weight, spurs, and beard, how
this,
do they?
This bird only weighed like about 18 pounds. It wasn't
Yeah.
a real big bird, but now as far as the spurs goes, it really sharp spurs. Beard, kind of like an Eastern.
Yeah.
similar to
And the distinct caramel to white colored
yeah,
tips
yeah,
on
the
those.
tips on them tail
Yeah.
feathers. Yeah.
Any other coloration change between the Eastern and their body feathers?
Well, as far as what I seen with it, that the coloration was along the tail fan. Like as the tail fan comes up from the body, there's a lot of different like coffee color,
Right.
tan coffee color
Yeah.
going up the tail fan. Pretty turkey though. I mean, I like the Merriam better, but they're really pretty turkey. The Rio is.
Right. Now, there's a lot of public land for people to be able to go get a Rio. You can actually look at those states that harbor those Rios, and there's a lot. If you look at Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, sometimes people say, "Well, I can't afford to go on a guided hunt." Well, not like deer and some of the other big game species, turkey, you can actually have a lot of success on public
Yeah.
land with turkey.
Yeah, there's a lot. The guys that I used to hunt with all the time from Backyard Outdoors, they hunt Tennessee and hunt a lot of public land in that area, and you can get on public land. It's not that expensive to go if you know somebody, especially your tags and license and your trip there is what's going to cost you.
Yeah.
If you know somebody lives in Nebraska or you know somebody lives in central Nebraska, there you go. You can get a Rio and a Merriam right there in that area.
Yep.
If you know somebody lives in that area. So
Absolutely.
2 birds, 1 go round.
Yep. Let's talk about Merriams, and that's going to be, we're going to show you a picture of Tim's Merriams here.
You can talk.
Huh?
You can talk about other bits.
Okay. So we'll show the Merriams right here. Now, the Merriams is north of that line.
Yeah.
So when you get up into the Dakotas,
Well, geographically, they actually have traveled down some. Now there's Merriams there's Merriams along the central southern tip of Nebraska now. They're kind of traveling out. They're spreading out. And, in Nebraska, you've got what they call dirty birds. You've got Merriam, Rio kind of mix, I guess. It's hard to determine but you get the true Merriams when you get farther north.
farther north.
Yeah.
Now, you got your Rio in which state?
I got my Rio actually on the edge of Kansas and Nebraska,
All right. And where did
Yeah.
you get your Merriams?
and Nebraska also.
In Nebraska also. Now, the Merriams, and just from what I see, the feathers are kind of darker with really white tips.
Yeah.
Yeah, those
I
white,
got that cotton, almost cotton tip.
yeah.
And the feathers at the end is really kind of almost cloudy looking at the end of the tips on the feathers.
Yeah.
They're really pretty bird.
By my stand, what I think, my opinion is that the Merriams, out of the four, the Merriams is the prettiest.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, tell us a little bit about your Merriam hunt.
My Merriam hunt, it was absolutely fantastic. I mean, that was a hunt that I was with Devin also on that one, and me and Devin hunted quite a bit in Nebraska together, and I'm telling you, buddy, that the turkey, we had some turkeys out in front of us, and we'd watched them all morning. In Nebraska, a lot of times when the turkeys fly down, they'll hit the middle of that bottom. If there's a 500-acre bottom and there's timber all around, they'll land right in the middle when they come out of that timber, and they'll stay out there for a while. But we was hid, me and Devin was hid in an old tree brush, on the top of a tree brush. And that morning there was a deer come in. There was basically a deer come in right to us. I can remember it plain as day. There's basically a deer come in, and Devin was talking to the deer. I called him the deer whisperer because it come around and was talking to us. It stayed around for a little while, and as soon as the deer left, it wasn't probably 15, 20 minutes, and we heard a turkey gobble behind us. And that thing come up out of the creek bed. We didn't even really do much calling to it, and it comes. So when I shot, I didn't know it was a double beard, and after I shot the turkey, it was a double bearded Merriam.
Oh, man.
And I was like, yeah, I can't believe. That's what I'm looking forward to right there. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now, tell us a little bit about weight, spur, and beard comparison.
The weight of that bird was probably around 21 pounds. The beards, I think the beard was a 10.5-inch beard, and then one was a 9.5-inch beard. Spurs was similar to the Rio. the difference between what I could see on the spurs, the Rio seemed to be a little bit skinnier. The Merriam seemed just to be
More
just
needle-like, kind of
more
sharp.
needle, kind of sharp.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, really not much different than, I mean, I've killed Easterns with needlepoint,
Right.
needlepoint spurs. So
I think a lot of it too is how much you take these old mountain birds do a lot of up and down, and when they
Yeah.
do, they're really rubbing those spurs together and
Yeah.
also fighting.
Yeah.
I've killed a lot of Easterns that's got them broke off or got the tips broke off or whatever else. If you had to pick, of course, both those hunts, I mean, it's hard to
Yeah.
go away. If you had to pick, which species do you think would be tougher?
Eastern's by far the toughest bird.
Yeah.
The Osceola, I mean, not the Osceola, but the Merriam and the Rios. The farmland to me is just, we're not used to farmland around here. We have to climb up and down these open mountains
Right.
all the time. And when you get out in Nebraska, you're going to be traveling across fields that's, you're going to be walking 400 or 500 yards to get to a piece of timber.
Right.
So, I mean, it's easier there to hunt. The birds are seem to be more vocal in Nebraska. And it's just all the experience is better for me in Nebraska. Around here, it's tough hunting and it's a challenge and it's something that I'm proud of when I kill an eastern bird.
Yeah, man.
When I get an eastern bird on the ground, you've done
Yeah.
something. You usually have done something when you've done it.
And I'm going to say this again. We talked about this in the podcast this week, but if you want some great information about turkey hunting, you need to, if you like podcasts, you need to check out the Meat Eater podcast with Stephen Ranella, episode 214 called Gobbling Your Ass Off. They have a guy on there from one of the universities. He's got a doctorate in biology and primarily focusing on turkeys. And all this research is about Easterns, the southern states and Easterns, over here in the East. And to know what you know once you hear this podcast, to know the percentage and the low, I mean very unlikelihood that a gobbler ever makes it to adulthood, really even makes it to its first 28 days of life.
They got a tough life.
It is amazing. And when if you'll listen to that podcast, episode 214 of the Meat Eater podcast, you will never look at turkey hunting the same in these.
Yeah.
A lot of people want to say, well, that's just an old dumb bird. I mean, let's face it, they ain't got a big brain, and life is pretty simple. I like what you said, what we talked about earlier. We overthink it.
Yeah.
We outdo ourselves, but it's basic, simple survival. Yes, when you tangle with an old warrior that's 4 or 5 years old, you got a time on your hands.
You do.
But it's not like them old 2-year. I'll tell you what, son. I'll take a 2-year-old bird and smile like a possum.
Oh yeah, I've seen turkeys. No joke. I've been in the blind before, and I've been dead still, not moving at all, and I blink my eyes and they see me. So,
That's right.
they've got great vision. They may not have the best hearing, they may not have the best sense of smell. But they do got sight.
They got the
that
eyes.
just-
Yep. But
Yeah.
go check that podcast out. Listen to it. It's about 2.5 hours long. It's worth it. You will hear for everything from how the barred owl is one of the biggest predators, or the great horned owl is one of the biggest predators, to percentage of death rates and all kinds of stuff. You better check it out if you like turkey hunt. Now the Osceola, that's something that is what I would consider the toughest bird, but mainly because of the geographical location, because you only find this bird in Florida,
Yeah.
and it's not in all of Florida, it's only in a section of Florida, and sometimes access can be the
Yeah.
determining
And
factor.
they are determined to be like the quietest bird. They are very quiet. They're not very vocal. I mean, they're not the most vocal bird in the woods. So
Right. Well, I'm going to tell you something.
Somebody's getting ready to go get one.
Somebody's getting ready to go get one. Me and old Corey Terry's getting ready to make that trip, I hope, and we're gonna go down there and
Yeah.
see if we can.
I'm jealous, you boys. I needed to get mine. So
Yeah, man. I'll tell you what. If it hadn't been, it's just doors opening, and that's another thing. So many great people we meet in this field. So many people, that come across, and like I said, the common denominator is this. But I met this gentleman, my buddy John Partain, and he's been a blessed man, and I tell you, this is a dream hunt for me.
oh yeah,
You know,
ain't no doubt.
I want to get to Grand Slam, but I always said, I was like, to go out west, and I don't want to take anything away from the Rio and the Merriams, but the point I'm trying to make is that access to the Rio and the Merriams is a lot easier than the Osceola.
Yes.
So in my mind, I've already got an Eastern. We raised up with them, but until you really set things in motion with the Osceola, it's kind of
Yeah.
let these go. But now this opportunity has arisen, and I think we're going to make the trip. And I tell you what, man, I'm excited. My buddy John has educated me a lot about them. We have been trying to study our best, and that's something else I wanted to talk to you about tactics.
Right.
There's a lot of different tactics we use for Eastern, but when you were hunting after those Merriams and those Rios, did your tactics really change any?
You kind of have to a little bit because of the open bottom area. I mean, the sound, you have to get a little louder with the calls, and you kind of have to watch. You kind of have to be like the turkey in a way. You have to use your vision more than you use your other senses, because visually, that's what those turkeys are. They're watching you before you watch them. You get in there early, and you kind of have to know where that bird's going to be. You do your homework before you go the next morning. And if you do your homework, you'll kill turkey in that area.
That's awesome, man.
But you get a little bit loud, and because the vision is such a, and it's up and down. And I don't know if you've ever been in Nebraska or not,
Yep.
but there's actually heat comes up off the ground. It'll actually disturb your vision in a way. So those turkeys, they're used to that, and we have to kind of watch that also. Kind of leave a little bit of hologram, going.
Yeah, a
up in
little
the air.
mirage going
Yeah, a little
on.
mirage going on.
Yep.
Yep.
That's awesome, man. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We are going to take a break. There was a couple things before we go to commercial that I wanted to touch on. Our good buddy, Paul Priest, is joining us. Paul was on the show with Star. Hope you're doing good, Paul. Says turkey hunting this year, you have to carry a chainsaw to cut a path after the ice storm, man. I tell you, it's rough out there, so that'll be interesting to see how that changes things. Mrs. Fan said turkey season can't get here quick enough. Our good buddy Saul Akers is watching, buddy. Hope you're doing good. We are blessed to be raised where and by who. You're exactly right, Misty. Oh, Aaron says them turkeys is ugly as sin. I just don't believe that. Do you?
Yeah, I've got some pretty pictures I take. I mean,
Yeah.
they just, like I said, they're pretty, but they're ugly.
That's
sometimes.
exactly right, man. That's exactly right. All right. Folks, we're going to take a commercial break. We're going to come back here and finish things up. We got our good buddy Tim Fannin here. We're going to be talking and finishing things up, talking about turkey, and we're going to go into Tim's second passion, I guess, or one of many, photography. And
Now, my wife's probably my first, I guess. I better.
you better,
Yeah,
you'll
I
be
bet.
in the doghouse.
Yeah, there you
tonight.
go, there you
You'll
go.
be sleeping in that new house with no heat tonight.
Yeah, there you go.
So if you're not done so, please like and share this feed. Get the word out there about all things TLC Outfitters and Eastern Kentucky. You are watching TLC Outfitters Live. Hey folks, welcome back here to TLC Outfitters Live. Thank you so much for making us part of your Wednesday night. Thank you for your support. We appreciate each and every one of you all so much. We also appreciate Tim Fannin coming out and talking turkey with us. I'll tell you what, man, I'm so excited I can't hardly sit still. Turkey hunting is absolutely my favorite. One thing I want to say here, our good friend Paul Priest said, any kid that don't have a place to turkey hunt, welcome to come hunt his place. Man, that's what it's all about right
It
there.
is, that
So,
sure is.
and we'll touch on that before we close. But we've been talking about all these turkeys, Eastern Rio, Merriam's, Osceolas, and everything. You got a call right here, man. We've been talking about tips and tricks
Yeah,
and
we was
things
talking
like
about.
that.
I guess on the podcast the other night we was talking about old call. That's a old call. I've had that one since '98. That's
98.
an old call. Yeah.
That's a Nightingale Old Yeller,
Yep. Yep.
and possibly one of the best sounding pot calls you can
They
get.
sound good after they've been seasoned a long time. That one's been seasoned.
Brother,
for a
I can
long,
tell you
long
what, in case you can't tell, that car right there's got some miles on
Yeah.
it. You know, there was a whole lot of pretty writing
Yeah.
on here, but it's gone now. Let's talk about calling. You know, sometimes the big question, to call or not to call, you know, the one piece of advice, and then I want you to tell me what you would tell folks. The one piece of advice I try to tell people is don't be a turkey caller, be a turkey hunter.
Yep.
People get hung up on calling. Well, I got to sound like this, or I got to sound like that, or I got to do this, or I got to have that call, I got to have this. You don't do it.
No, people watch social media and they get this. Everybody says you have to do it this way, and you have to do it this way, and you have to do it this way. But pick your own method that works for you and go with it. And a turkey hunter will usually score faster than a turkey caller will.
That's right.
90% of the time.
A turkey call is a tool to
Right.
use in the woods to help with the method of
Yeah.
hunting.
Yeah.
It's not this and scratching on this isn't what turkey hunting's
Right.
all about.
Yeah.
So,
Some of the worst callers will kill turkeys faster than some of the best sounding callers in the woods
because they're hunters.
because they're hunters. Yeah.
That's right. So, what kind of advice would you have to people though on their calling techniques? I mean, you brought this thing right here. I mean, I want you to.
Well, when you buy a slate call, a lot of times you're either going to get a glass or a slate. The slate has a rougher surface, and it's easier for beginners to use. Glass
more
calls,
forgiving.
yeah, I carry this call. I don't carry any other calls in my pack other than this one. Now, I've had a few people that's over the years that sponsored us some calls. I carry them in my pack, but I always go back to this call. I don't know why. I just do because I've killed more birds
Right.
with this call than any other call I've got in my pack. And I can make it sound slow, low. I can make it sound high. And I'm not a good turkey caller at all. I would call myself mediocre, but I don't pride myself in turkey calling.
Right. Yeah. So, let's hear what a yip sounds like on that.
Well, basically this old.
And what is this? Tell us what these are.
This is a striker, and then this is old slate call. So basically, the old yeller's not really slate. It's a kind of a man-made material that's similar to slate.
Sort of like ceramic,
Yeah,
if you would.
they call it Slaytech is what they used to
Yeah.
call it. I mean, it's been a long time, but now, little tip, when you're using your striker, a lot of people can't get their strikers to sound real good. They want to shave them with, sandpaper or do stuff to them. I take a cigarette lighter, burn the end of mine, and that will give you a great sound. It usually will catch really good on slate. It don't take nothing just to, it's just real easy, and you
Yeah.
run across and it'll do it. But you've got a yelp, you've got a purr, you've got all kinds of different things. But now yelp is what most people use to kill turkeys with, and you just kind of want to make a little bit of an oval circle. That's basically you just go around in an oval circle. That's
Yeah.
what I always teach kids to do. Just draw a circle on your call.
I always say a fish hook. That's
Yeah.
how my dad told me. He
Yeah.
said, son, just make a fish hook.
Yeah, that's what most people do. You can fish hook. And then if you know you're wanting to do a purr, everybody just does like a straight line. Just
Yeah.
do a straight line down.
And a cluck
Yeah, and then a cluck.
and a cut.
Yeah.
Exciting call. Sounds good, man.
Yeah.
And the thing about that pot is that you can, the more you move towards the middle,
Yeah.
you can get a different sound
he'll
caller on
it'll
the
get
outside.
it'll get a little louder. And then if I want to do a soft tree yelp, I go up near the edge. We
That's
get near the edge, and it'll kind
Yep.
of give you a little different sound.
That's right.
So I mean, it's one of them situations where, depending on where you're at on the call, and glass calls, you get you a sweet spot on glass call.
Yeah.
Now this one's got sweet spots all over.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I like that call so good. And I'm always in the rain. I'm always in a bad spot, and I'll usually if I'm in the rain, I'll use this striker because it's more of a composite material.
Right.
And I burn the end of this thing too. You know, but it's actually still wood and composite put together.
Right. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, what advice? So somebody's wanting to get in turkey hunting, but they don't know any calls. What would you have to say to them?
If they have never used a call before, I wouldn't recommend trying a mouth call right off the bat. I would recommend getting a slate call, and maybe get one of the mechanical calls. Those are not the best call ever was, but they will help you kill a turkey. I'm not going to say you're going to call every turkey in the woods in with them, but they will help you kill a turkey. And the mechanical calls are just something you move your finger.
Like a push button
Yeah,
call.
don't have to have any skill whatsoever. You just push the button on it,
Yeah.
and you're good to go.
Awesome, man. What are we missing, brother? We want to talk about your photography service here in just a minute, but what are we missing on this turkey stuff?
As far as turkeys goes, just to me, I'm going to give a couple tips out because a lot of people ask me all the time, say, man, what will help me in the turkey woods to kill a turkey? Basically, the main thing to me is always just think like a turkey. Realize they don't have good hearing, they don't have good smell. They've got great eyes. And, they love open areas, and they will stand on the edge of a thicket looking out into open areas for a while a lot of times before they make a move. And that's because they get attacked by a lot of things. Like you said earlier, from the time they're an egg, something's after
They're
them.
under the gun.
Yeah, they're under the gun from the time they're an egg. So they get used to that, and their eyes are their favorite tool. They see, 270 degrees?
Almost 270
Almost
degrees.
270 degrees around their head. So that's basically what I'd tell you. Just kind of think like a turkey. They're not a smart critter, but now they will fool you because they're not smart sometimes.
Right. Yeah.
I've had them hang up behind a branch before, just one tree branch laying down between me and them, and they'll hang up behind that and never come to me and then turn around and walk off.
Yeah.
That's when you turn into a hunter if you want to kill a turkey. Now, a lot of people don't believe in, going after them, but now me, I'm all about getting one in my frying pan.
I'm just not. I'm just not patient.
No,
I'll just be
I
honest.
agree.
I want to go. I mean, I don't care to sit down a little bit and wait. But now, when he's out there gobbling, and he's been out there for quite some time, and I've blown quite a few turkeys, but now I've killed a whole lot of turkeys.
You'll
too.
always mess up first 3 or 4 days of season. I always blow them up every time. I can't never that first 2 or 3 days of season. I can't never get it right the first
Right.
time.
That's
But
right.
it's just a experience,
Hey, and anytime you botch a hunt or anytime it doesn't go your way, that is adding to your arsenal
Exactly.
of knowledge to be able to be a better hunter.
Yeah.
You have to be able to take the disappointments with the success. If you're into hunting for only success, you're gonna be sorely let down.
Exactly.
So, let's talk about your photography, man. We got some pictures right here from your outdoor photography. Absolutely amazing. I want to talk about Phantom photography.
It's basically where I get it. It's where I get my thrills after the hunt a lot of times, and I'm always taking pictures of turkeys. I'm always driving around looking for that, and I'm a hiker. I love nature, and I just picked it up at an early age, and that kind of helped me, like I said, just keep the hunt going.
Yeah.
To keep it alive. I've done weddings. I do senior portraits. I've done all that stuff, but my passion is just wildlife and nature.
Absolutely.
I love it. Yeah.
And man, you got some beautiful, beautiful photographs that we're showing here, and I really urge people that if they are looking for something, whether they want harvest pics, after the hunt, whether they are looking for any type of photography needs, I mean, you've got the goods.
Oh yeah, I do a lot of harvest pictures. A lot of boys will call me and say, "Hey, can you do this picture for me?" And I love to do that stuff. I mean, for me, it's just a passion to be able to get it the way I want. Now, most photographers are artists, and we don't ever get it the way we want it, but sometimes it's close.
How can people contact you about your photography?
They can look me up on Facebook. It's just actually Fannon's _ photography on not Facebook, but on Instagram. It's Fannon's _ photography. They can go on there and like that and follow me. I don't do a lot of stuff on Facebook. I probably should. Most of my Facebook stuff, my friends can see on there. If they're my friend, they'll get on there and see that stuff.
We're gonna get you and Hunter Maines hooked up
Yeah.
on Facebook, son. That's
Yeah.
Of course, they're telling us now Facebook's for us old folks.
Yeah. Yeah,
Instagram's the way to go.
Yeah, I like Instagram because Instagram is more my passion. Everybody posts pictures on there, and there's a lot of people that I follow who's photographers too. So it's always something I'm learning from them people too. So
That's right. What would you have to say to somebody sitting out there right now saying, man, I'd like to have my Grand Slam?
I would tell them to go after it. I mean, there's people literally that do it in a year's time. I know there's people out there that literally do it in a year's time. I want my Grand Slam. I want to go to Florida, but I've just got too many irons in the fire all the time. As a plumber and a mechanical guy, I'm always plumbing, HVAC, heating, cooling. So it's something I'm always involved in. I don't get a lot of time.
You're 3 down, 1 to go, though.
Yeah.
You're very close.
Yeah, I'm really, really close, and it's all because of good friends. It's all because of people who have helped me, over time.
And these hunts are not, as expensive as a lot of the other species that we hunt.
No, they're not. They're not what you'd think they are.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Man, I can't thank you enough. A lot of people, Dwayne said nice picks, Tim. Gertie McKenzie says beautiful work, Tim. I appreciate everything you do. Thank you for everything. We got some of the most talented photographers. You, Andrew Guest, Sawyer Adams.
Andrew's catching on good. I like looking at Andrew's stuff. Andrew's got an artist type style to his.
That's right.
Yep, I like his stuff.
So if they can't get up, if they can't find you on Instagram, they can always shoot us something at TLC Outfitters. We'll get them hooked up with you all. We're going to be offering on our hunts this year. We're going to be offering professional videography and photography. So that's going to be another service between you and Andrew and Sawyer Adams. So we're very excited about that, man. Thank you very much, and thank you all for tuning in. If you've not done so, go over to our website. Check us out at www.tlcoutfitters.com. Also, check out buglingwiththebrothers.com, our brand new podcast. We'll be having a new episode coming up this Friday at 8 o'clock on Podbean, Buzzsprout, SoundCloud, and missed one. Spotify.
Yeah, there you go. I knew they
And you can also check it out on the Facebook page as well. I got a T-shirt giveaway, but you know what? I'm kind of mad. Nobody's liking sharing the T-shirt giveaway, so I ain't gonna give them away yet. How about that? When we get those likes and shares up there, I'm gonna give away a Vortex T-shirt and a TLC Outfitters T-shirt. That post is just a little ways down right here on TLC Outfitters.
I'm going to be doing a giveaway too for y'all for the youth thing. I'll be doing a $25 gift card
to Fans Photography.
Yeah,
there you go, man. Well on your way.
Yeah.
Please, if you don't do anything else, bring out those kids for our Strutting Jakes Youth Tournament presented by TLC Outfitters and Bugling with the Brothers podcast, sponsored by Copperhead Gun and Indoor Range, and many, many others. We'll be having our sponsor list coming up in the next week. We are going to be headed to Florida possibly tomorrow. Corey Terry and I tell you what, you can keep track of our progress right here on our Facebook page. We are so excited, man. I'm telling you, we're going to be hunting for Osceolas. We're going to be thermal hunting for hogs, coyotes, and maybe even a little bow fishing on the
So
ocean.
will this be number 2 for you for your slam?
2, yeah. I've got the Eastern, and this will be number 2.
Okay.
So I'd say this is going to be just getting me started.
Yeah, it will. As soon as you get it, you'll want to go. You'll want to head up.
Yeah, so
You wanna
I'm
head
gonna
on
sweet
with-
talk my boss in and
Yeah.
say, "Hey, man, I need 2 more weeks to go out west."
Yeah, there you go.
So how long? And that's one thing I was going to ask you. How long did you take to go? Did you do those 2 in the same trip?
Yeah, I was on those 2 in the same trip.
Yeah.
And
How
I'll
long
tell you
did
something too else about your Nebraska hunt. Your Nebraska and Kansas stays in way up in the middle. Almost the end of May a lot of times. So you can start early down in Florida and work your way. Work your way south.
That's what we're threatening to do,
up
man.
north, yeah.
Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, Kentucky, and just head right on
Yeah,
over.
head right on over. Yeah.
That's right, man. Folks, thank you all very much. We appreciate you. We got one more thing for you before we leave tonight. Check out the Harvest movie. What the world needs in this crazy time is a hunter. TLC Outfitters is proud to be part of this film. We appreciate all the producers, the managers, everybody involved with this film. This is a way for us to get the word on a grand scale about this way of life that we love. If it's a hobby for you, if it's a way of life, if it's just something you're itching to try, this way of life, this hobby is under attack. And I just tell you something. It is closer to being taken from us than anybody ever realizes.
Yeah.
But the Harvest movie is a way to get the word out there and get more support. You can actually go over and check out the Harvest movie and Google search it, go to the website, and you can make a donation. We appreciate all the supporters, and we're going to show you the trailer right now for the Harvest movie. Hope everybody has a great week, and hope to see you on the water, in the woods, and be sure to check back with us and see how the Osceola hunt's going. Have a great week.
God bless.
It is absolutely incredible how crazy the world is right now. There's so many people out there that think they got the answers for exactly what the world needs. I mean, I've got my opinion too. I think the world needs a hunter. It needs you.
I came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands.
Hunting is under attack. There's no guarantee. We have this lifestyle that we love and that we live for our future generations. That goes for me, you, my kids, your kids, our grandkids. But look, it is up to us to ensure that it is around for the future.
Strong like a tree. There's roots where I stand.
The Harvest film is the answer. Look, this film is going to educate millions as they experience the true joys and value of this outdoor lifestyle, our lifestyle. And the film is going to be produced by the same people that produced I Can Only Imagine, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
But the executive producer on this one is you.
The Ohio Archer,
Colorado Angler,
the Montana Elk Hunters,
the Wyoming Antelope Hunter.
We're going to join arm in arm together as an industry to produce this film.
And let me tell you, the voice of the hunter, the strength of the hunter, the assets of the hunter are going to be heard loud and clear as you join with us to produce this film. We need you, so come join me.
Join me.
Join us. Please join all of us.
Join this industry.
Invite your friends, family, and hunting buddies and be part of the harvest.
Let that revival begin.
I am Taylor Drury. I'm Tiffany Lukoski.
Jeff Danker. I'm Toxie Hayes.
I'm Michael Waddell, and we are the Harvest.
Eastern Kentucky, where I was raised, where the wildlife and mountains call my name. I was born to hunt, I was born to guide, a camouflage on a rifle by my side. Just good old country boys chasing dreams in the Appalachian Mountains.